Hey guys, welcome back to the TohirT channel. Tahir is here. I hope you had a fantastic week or a couple of weeks since I've been back in the studio. Amsterdam and Brussels were awesome. Love the place. You'll see a lot of pics on my Instagram. For this video though, we are talking about 2020. It's time, people. We're 3 weeks away. It's time to pause, reassess where we are in our personal, professional, business lives. It's easy to lose focus on those life, career goals, aspirations, dreams that we have. So in this video, I'll share a couple of tricks that I'm using or testing out this time around to prepare myself for 2020. Let's do this.
The more of those big list items that ultimately come to fruition, you suddenly have this moment where you're like, oh my God, I can do anything.
This video inspired partially by where I'm in my personal life, obviously the time of the year, as well as a great video made by Matt Diavella, someone who I've quoted before on this channel. He's an awesome creator, and he created a video in collaboration with another creator, social writer, I guess. I don't even know. Life person, life coach. I don't know how to describe Ben Nemtin, the author and one of the co-founders of The Buried Life. That was a project that Ben and a couple of his friends created around the idea that we get too buried in our personal lives and forget about those dreams and aspirations and big goals. So how do you refocus and how do you reshuffle the things to make it happen? In their case, they created the short bucket list among, I think it was 4 of their friends. They took one big truck and they start traveling all around the United States trying to accomplish and cross off the items on that list. The great thing about it was they did not only accomplish something for themselves, they did not only create a ton of great content to show how they went on that journey, but they also on that path helped other people achieve their lifetime goals and aspirations, and they also created an interesting following of millions of people who are now trying to mimic the same approach. I think this is great. I am late to the party, but I'm happy that when you think about the other 2 factors, about the timing where we are in the year and in the moment in my personal career and professional life, watching that video really got me thinking about how I want to approach 2020. So here we are, and in the next section, I'm going to talk about a few things that will help you on your journey as well.
The more of those big list items that ultimately come to fruition, you suddenly have this moment where you're like, oh my God, I can do anything.
No matter what you are trying to achieve in the next 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, let's first reset and talk about the major limitation we all share: time. Time is very limited. It's a commodity. It's one of those hardest items to find. You cannot get more than 24 hours in a day. So when you think about all the things that you're trying to accomplish in your life, you're dealing with a very limited set of resources that you can allocate to achieve those goals. I'd argue with the way our society develops, I'd argue with the fact that we have now so many more technologies that's supposed to help us make our life easier. There are way more things out there that are fighting for our attention, fighting for our time. And frequently we lose that battle. We go on that Instagram to scroll. We go on that Twitter to tweet. We go on those other social media platforms. I personally have too many streaming services on my list that also fight for my attention with all those amazing and intricate and exciting shows. And I'm not even talking about our professional lives, all the things that we need to achieve to keep our jobs, or if there's a particular project you're working on to make sure we can be successful in that project, or our personal lives if we have kids or loved ones. So there's a lot of things going on. And Ben made a very interesting point in that video with Matt Diavella about how we, in today's world, with all the things that are happening, simply forgetting about our personal goals and things that truly make us happy, and why we forget about them in the first place.
I think like it's human nature to put off our personal goals, because if you think about it, there's no deadlines for personal goals, but we have all these deadlines for every other goal set in our lives. So we have, we have work goals, we have life goals, and we have birthdays, we have payments. We always have something that has a deadline, and then there's consequences if you don't hit that deadline.
This is so true. This is one of the best ways to put elegantly the challenge that we all have. I can relate to it because I have my professional life, I have my personal life, I have some of the other things that I'm trying to accomplish, and I obviously have this hobby. In between all of those things, it's hard for me to make sure I invest enough time in my future. And so are you. Even the simple things like getting the groceries, making sure you take care of your car, or make sure you do a few things for Christmas. Those things are a bit important. Take away our attention from some of those other items that are truly important. After all, when you are on your deathbed, you won't be disappointed by the fact that you did not go to that extra sale, you did not check that extra Instagram post, or you did not watch another new TV show that Amazon Prime just released. You will be disappointed about the fact that you did not take that trip that you always wanted, you did not learn that skill you always wanted to, or you did not explore that career path that truly seem to be your calling. My advice for you to help to resolve this issue is the core of this video. So if you will forget everything else I spoke about, please make sure you pay attention to this part and maybe save it somewhere or write it down. But you really have to think through how much time you invest in all the different stuff. As I said, we have 24 hours in a day, so sit down, write down all the things that you're doing throughout each day of the week. Now, think about how many of those hours can be reallocated to pursuing your dream. Do you really need those extra couple of hours in front of the TV, or can you spend those 2 hours and maybe study that new language you always wanted, or start researching for the business idea that you always had but never had a chance to pursue? After all, with all the internet technologies out there, we can do majority of our initial steps in achieving those goals from home, whether it's a travel that you're starting to research and book, whether it's lessons that you're starting to take online, it's a business that you start researching, preparing online, maybe it's a hobby, YouTube channel, whatever it is. You can start it at home. So there's no reason why you should be wasting those couple of hours on useless things. When you write them all down, when you look at that list, you will see things that you can drop. In my case, I'll give you the example. Recently, I've been thinking a lot about it, and I realized in my pursuit to try do things different on social media, I caught myself spending more time on social media. I spend a lot more time on Twitter, I spend a lot more time on Instagram. So one of my big things going forward will be to stop wasting time on those platforms, to be on those platforms only to promote my content and maybe engage with some of those other people who I want to work with, but to not waste my time just mindlessly scrolling through stuff. I want to have those extra couple of hours because I have new ideas, I have new projects to pursue. So do you, and it's up to you now to make that decision and reprioritize and reallocate the time. And trust me, it will suck. It always sucks to make those adjustments in the short term because those are the entertaining things or time wasteful things, albeit relaxing things that we all do. And most likely those are the first ones that will go from your calendar, but they have to because you are building up for that future goal. You are building up for something that will make you happier and better and more excited about waking up during the day and pursuing your new achievements, new career goals within that project, within that business, within that occupation that you're trying to strive for. So think about it, be honest with yourself, and make it happen.
The more of those big list items that ultimately come to fruition, you suddenly have this moment where you're like, oh my God, I can do anything.
Okay, now that we have time, now that we know how many hours we have, time to start planning how we will allocate it. And first and foremost, you should just write down the list of all the different career goals and aspirations and dreams that you have. Ben and Matt made an interesting point that I never heard about regarding why you should write them down.
Write it down. Write it down because that makes it real. Write it down because then you feel accountable. Write it down because you're 42% more likely to achieve it once you write it down.
I learned that for the first time in this video as well. Cool stuff. Now, the reason why I think it should be mixed, and ideally you want to focus more on maybe 6 to 12 months, maybe to 24 months in your life, because when you write down those big aspirational career goals, like you want to be CEO of a company, they're much harder to attain, or they will seem like that huge mountain that you have to climb. Rather focus on those first few steps. Make it realistic, make it attainable and trackable within the next few months, and then push forward and switch things up. After all, you can add things as you progress. As you cross out items from that bucket list, you will keep adding more new and interesting things. Or maybe throughout that journey, you will discover completely new and exciting thing that you never thought of that you now want to pursue, so you'll scrap your list entirely. No matter whether it's your first list or it's your second iteration of the list, make sure you follow the next advice from Ben and Matt.
Then you want to share it, right? Like you want to talk about those things that are important with your friends.
I know it will feel weird, probably even invasive, sharing those, ideas. Sometimes we don't even want to do that because we're afraid people either to judge us, or maybe someone will think that we're taking a completely different direction from where we should be. But at the end of the day, it's less about getting a buy-in from people. It's more about sharing it with those who can potentially help you achieve those goals. Well, in my case, my list is this video, and I will put it down on a piece of paper as well. I already have it because I'm going to be reading off of it, but I want to keep it very realistic and attainable. So all of my items are really that within 6 to 9 months time frame. The way I classify them are all the things outside of the personal life that is less about the goals, it's more about just enjoying your journey with your kids, your loved ones, your friends. But for this personal channel, that YouTube channel that I have a few goals that I want to achieve. Number one, I actually think I already have a design in mind for the new setup, for the new picture frame that you guys gonna see. After all, we've been using it for like what, 79 videos now, so over a year for sure. Time to change, time to switch things up, even switch up a little bit angle, maybe add a second angle. There are some spoilers in terms of how I want to do it, but I have a few ideas on how to spice it up a little bit and make it more interesting and engaging and open it up for new kind of content that I can create. I also want to be a little bit better at leveraging some of the social media channels like Instagram and try out a few new things. I have some new gear, have some new ideas, some new kind of content I want to experiment with to make it more unique, to add that flavor of TohirT in terms of the content that I'm creating. Finally, I want to create 15 videos with other people in them. I think it's enough of just staring at me and watching me and some of the inserts from other videos. I think it's time to have more visitors, more people in these videos. So I will use that as a vehicle to push myself out of my comfort zone and also help other people maybe achieve certain things that they're working on through my channel, through my contributions. In the professional life, what I want to focus on is, it's interesting. So it's less tangible in the sense that it's a particular goal, like a thing that I can touch. It's more about, as I go through the next steps in my career, there will be things that I'll be either afraid of, hesitant about, or not confident in. So I want to identify this one big item that I can work on, whether it's a skill, whether it's a project, and I want to master it. I want to really make sure I knock it out of the park, and at the end of it, see the progress. If it's a new project I'm starting from scratch, if it's a new skill that I'm pushing myself to develop, or it's a completely new career direction that I'm experimenting with. Either of those three will fit within my professional goal of making sure I'm not stagnant and I'm pushing myself further. And for the business side of things, I do have a vision for how myself, potentially my wife, and a couple of my friends can work on an interesting project that will be additive to the family budget in the sense that it will generate the actual income, but at the same time, it will be an interesting way to push our skills and kind of like diversify the day-to-day things and also help us engage with each other more. I'm purposely vague about it right now. I'm even debating whether it may be a good video series of itself, of showing how I go through the journey. I'm still thinking about it. I'm going to be putting a lot more meat on those bones in the next couple of months, but this is a big goal for the next 6 to 9 months, to start diversifying the set of things that I'm capable of and the set of things that make me a better professional and a businessman. These sound simple, right? At least I think they're attainable. We shall see. Now go write down the list of your ideas, your things, your projects right after this video. Share them with me down in this video in the comments. Share them on Instagram, share them on Twitter, or just show them to your friends or family or relatives, someone who will help you with achieving some of those. And let's circle back in a little bit to see how we're progressing through our personal lists.
The more of those big list items that ultimately come to fruition, you suddenly have this moment where you're like, oh my God, I can do anything.
Now, what are your plans for 2020, for the next 6, 9, 24 months? What are the other things that you're trying to achieve in general in your life? And how can we declutter our focus and really clear that path for us to achieve all those dreams, career aspirations, and just personal lifetime goals? Share your ideas, thoughts in the section below. And don't forget, this list can be very fluid. As you cross things off, you'll add new things. As you discover new things about yourself as you go through life, you will potentially change it completely. As I said, there are many other ways by which you can make it entertaining. It's not about doing something extreme like skydiving. It's more about doing something that makes you happier, makes you a better person, makes you a better professional, makes you better at things that you truly enjoy. And as long as you focus on those things, that will keep you happy, and it will keep you engaged with that list on and on and on. And it will almost become this new habit of yours that will help you not only focus yourself on things that you're doing, but also help others to achieve their own goals. Thank you very much, guys, for stopping by. If you're new to this channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and check out the videos in the backlog. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for stopping by. As always, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this video, and I will see you all next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, on this very channel. Yeah, man, time is ticking. It's another year, another January, another winter, another spring, summer, autumn, and then we're back in here talking about yet another set of goals, yet another new ways by which we can make ourselves better. So don't forget, keep focus. You can do it! And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.